Namaste. So yesterday the video cut off right when I was describing Durga's third eye, her Ajna chakra. And so redoing it once again. And maybe this part will be spliced into the previous one, I'm not sure. Okay, so finishing up the pilgrimage. And yes, here we were. Between the Shiva temple and the goddess temple is a sacrificial altar, the shape of a wooden fork, painted bright red, the color of Shakti, feminine power. The orange shikara, towering spire of the Mahish Mardini temple towers above. I push open the wooden doors and hand-carved friezes of Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesh and Kartik, and the threefold symbol of the Ghatam, meaning pot, the sacred water vessel, which is, symbolic of the goddess. Devi Durga is inside an Ashtavakra murti made from an alloy of 8 metals that have astrological significance. She has 10 arms, is accompanied by her lion Vahana, and is thrusting a spear through the heart of the demon Mahisha. Other than the spear, Durga is without her usual assortment of weapons. Holes in the 9 remaining fists allow devotees to add a personal touch to their puja by placing a miniature tin weapon available at the nearby shops in one of her hands as an offering. I give the priest a traditional offering of incense, flowers, sindoor, red pigment powder, decorative bangles for Kali, and fruit for the goddess at this precious Shakti pith. He draws my attention to a circular hole on the marble pedestal beneath Durga. I place my hand inside the hole to touch the original form of the goddess, her bru modo, or the space between her eyebrows, symbolic of her mind. It feels smooth and cool, and sliding my fingers along the surface, I can make out the shape of a lunar crescent with rounded edges. I feel a shudder ripple through my spine as I touch her third eye, her Ajna chakra, as I merge with the vastness of her goddess mind. I feel her transcendent beauty inside me, and time stands still. I feel blessed and absorb the tangible power manifested over the centuries through this humble embodiment of the divine. The Cremation Ground is at the end of a narrow, unpaved road, flanked with tombstones that rise up like jagged teeth. Shiva devotees prefer the custom of creation, but Vishnu worshippers like to be buried. Both traditions are evident in Bakrishwar. Near the entrance to the Cremation Ground is a small temple to Kali, Jai Ma Shmasham Kali, or victory to Mother Kali of the Cremation Ground, is written above its door in bright red Bengali script. Inside is a murti of Kali standing on her husband, Lord Shiva, with her left foot pressed forward against his heart, brandishing a sword and holding a severed head with her left hand, while her right hands give the mudras of Abhaya, fear not, and Varada, conferring boons. She is depicted as the archetypal dark mother goddess with a few macabre embellishments to emphasize the particularly fierce nature of her Shmashana, cremation ground aspect. Painted red lines flow from the corners of her mouth down to her neck to suggest oozing blood. Two semi-nude female Shaktis, human embodiments of the transcendental feminine force, are depicted in a frenzied dance smeared with entrails and feasting on human flesh. Bakriswar's sacred burning ground might appear unceremonious compared to Tirupati, Pashupati, or Varanasi. Yet it's auspicious to be cremated here, and people come as far away as from Bihar. The Dom caste have their work cut out for them today as 4 chittas, or funeral pyres, are burning on scorched earth, permeated with ash, beside the black water of the Papra River. They tend the fires and break down the bodies that are slowly turning to ash. I don't see any Aghoris appropriating Chamundi with blood, meat, and alcohol offerings, or dakinis wearing bone ornaments, but the Dom are hospitable and offer us chai and crackers as they smoke bidis and ganja and drink bangla, the local rice-based moonshine. It seems appropriate that this marginalized caste, thought to be filthy untouchables by the nature of their work, would venerate a low-caste female as the ideal cosmic matriarch. Kali the Mother is a multifaceted deity who undoubtedly developed through the synthesis of indigenous goddesses whose roots reach back into prehistory. Jai Ma. It's a gray, ash-sodden kind of day. We cross the murky Papra, known as the remover of sins. Ashtavakra Muni is said to have found enlightenment here after bathing in the waters. That was during Satya Yuga, not the Kali Yuga, and today my pure vision fails me. I step on sandbags and try to avoid the water as we cross the sacred river to visit the goddess temple on the other side. Spiritual transformation is the purpose of pilgrimage. My own journey has been one of embracing the Mother. I traveled as a yogini, a devotee, and practitioner, and to holy places situated at tirthas or crossings, or peeths, seats of the divine, not as a spiritual tourist, but as a seer. Each auspicious place I visited felt not only alive, but expansive, like an energetic vortex that drew me to unknown depths, allowing me deeper access to myself and other realms. It was easier to communicate with the divine and receive her blessing. I left the earthly realm of Calcutta, crossing the waters of the Hooghly River to the spiritual abode of Kalighat, traveled through the contours of the West Bengal landscape that resemble the body of the goddess, and sat at peace where part of her body fell to earth. I now understand sacred symbols like water pots, garlands of red hibiscus, orange and red marigolds, anthropomorphic stones, triangular openings painted red, stone yonis, and lingams. I tried to embody her with all my senses. I gazed into the eyes of the deity, darshan, touched her with my hands, sparsa, heard the sacred sound vibrations of mantras and ringing bells, nada. I smelt the incense and flowers, ate the consecrated food, sipped the sanctified liquid offerings. I travel through time and history to grasp her vast terrain, from the goddess as creatrix in sacred texts, to the pre-Vedic yakshis, tantric yoginis, to Durga with her lion mount, and emblems and mudras indicating her various powers and her many manifestations. My journey strangely led me to the very place where the Devi Mahatmya was first uttered by a Vedic sage known as knowledge seen in a vision by Yogi Baba himself. I'm no longer confused by the many different names and forms of the Devi, her Namarupa, and understand that her different aspects connect to ones within me. I made a connection from the macrocosm to the microcosm. Each of her forms describes the visible, changing world of samsara and the multiple world of the gods, to determine what is real and what is a dream. For me, the most direct route to the heart of the mother, and by extension to my own heart, is through darshan. Darshan, with a murti or sculpture in which a deity has taken form, is an intimate and profound form of worship. The presence of the eyes of Hindu divine images are a reminder that it's not only the worshiper who sees the deity, but the deity sees the devotee as well. When eye contact is exchanged, the true inner nature of the devotee is revealed. The Guru lies within. Darshan with Kali was the most sublime experience, and her anthropomorphic beauty touched my heart. I really feel seen. Her divine gaze realized my own feminine nature, and I saw myself. Darshan can also mean a mystical or visionary experience, and is used to describe the darshanas, or systems of Indian philosophical thought. Darshan is a point of view. What I now see or know is that Devi is in everything. Every rock, creature, and physical structure is imbued with Shakti. Each is an integral part of an enchanted world where the profane and the sacred merge. I deepen my commitment to a non-dualist view of the world. Embracing the mother hasn't come naturally to me, given my own issues as an adopted person. With the concept of mother, my relationship with my mothers has often been fraught. Since traveling through the heartland of Bengal to the Shakti peaks, her toe at Kalighat, pelvis at Kankali, and eyebrows at Bakeshwar, and asking for her blessing, I find that my own relationships have become easier. Graciously accepting the sindoor from Kali's body, I'm more able to receive. The mother teaches us to appreciate our own afflicted emotions as substances to work with and transform back into the unconditioned, unfabricated state of mind. I felt myself melt into emptiness with the awareness that this suchness is pure consciousness, going beyond the space-time continuum into more subtle realms between form and formlessness. Mother offers a glimpse into moksha, liberation, and ultimately my own true nature. I'm able to accept love and truly see the mother as a compassionate being. In my investigation into various forms of Durga, I feel drawn to her darker and more wrathful manifestations of Kali, and Chamundi, associated with the charnel grounds. They've taught me to embrace my own shadow and wild nature. Thanks to her, I can now embrace my own feminine and gracefully move forwards towards my crone-like demise. I've been looking for a special deity for Nyasa practice, and suddenly Ardha Narishwara, the half-woman and man god, manifests. The deity is half Shiva and half Shakti, a gender-fluid and androgynous deity split down the middle, one-breasted, clothed in female yogini garments, and half in male tantric yogi attire. Sometimes Shiva and Parvati are joined, as are Vajrayogini and a manifestation Padmasambhava. In the true non-static, ever-changing state of the Devi, everything is in a state of motion and vibration. All the goddesses come to visit me. They teach me to be fearless and compassionate. Compassion for all sentient beings. Jai Ma. So yeah, I feel that this article is relevant, to share at this time of the global pandemic. And, both in terms of having compassion for all beings who are suffering. And, I wish it were not the case. And sending them, love. And trying to be as helpful as I can. I also, of course, rejoice and am amazed at the recovery of nature as, human production scales back due to lack of workers, being quarantined and being sick. And so we've seen a remarkable recovery, beautiful things happening with nature. Animals reappearing in places they weren't previously in the last few decades, but dolphins again in canals in Venice, amazing. And, to be able to see the Himalayas from Kathmandu, wow, just like the 80s. And, so great things are happening as the 5 elements of air, space, akash, air, fire, water, earth, as all of them that have been so horrendously polluted, which of course in it are the Devi, right? And so as they heal and purify, so does our own air. And, the whole planet heals and can sustain and nurture us. But not if we shield it in 5G. Seriously have to think about that. Do you want to live under a shield? Is it good for the earth to be living under a alien vibrational shield rather than, Akash? And, the vibrational patterns with the planets and, astrology and all the rest of it, right? The cosmos, our planetary system, shielded. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that, the rollout of 5G while nobody can do anything about it. And our dependency for technology as we're quarantined, where we think we're getting closer to each other. But fortunately, some families actually have been spending time together. And everything is on pause, and I really think that we need to take this as an opportunity, to look inwards and see our own responsibility and connection to what's happening. And, do you drive a car? Do you take international flights? Like looking at your life and, these things. Do you eat meat? Do you, What do? Are you an over-consumer? Now is your opportunity to see how much less you can do with, and that really your life is not that compromised. But the earth is, if we continue to go back to the way we were only 21 days ago. So it's very interesting. It's interesting from a yoga practice, and but I'm having trust in the Devi. I'm having trust that, this is happening for a reason. And I'm trusting the process. I'm being very good, being contained. Haven't been out in 21 days. But I am a bit luckier in that, there was a pool and there are grounds. So I'm not solely contained to my room, but I do spend a lot of time in it. And otherwise, I'm on the grounds, with 4 other people who've been here from the start. 2 incredible yogis from Argentina, and also their kirtan sound. I'm taking singing lessons. And there is a beautiful Norwegian yogi here, and she is an extraordinary massage therapist. Very good. One of the best I've encountered. Up there with Matthew. And so anyway, I've been able to have treatments with her. So I'm actually being very nurturing to myself right now. And like we are with the earth. And to also ultimately have respect for the feminine. Have respect for the Devi. This is very important, that women are respected. And then things might calm down. But not if we go back to our old ways of greed and, all of the poisons. So anyway, it's been really good. And, maybe I'll just start coronavirus chats as we watch our science project become, ever more interesting. The charnel ground has moved inside, but I'm looking at it, of course, with objectivity, like a scientist would, right? And seeing its transformation. Because this is an opportunity for transformation. That's what we can do. Don't waste it. Don't just watch Netflix. Maybe I'm just jealous because I don't have the Wi-Fi to watch Netflix. But no, actually go inward. Review your life. Find out who you are, what you really need. Be true to your heart. Have a voice. Thank you so much for those of you who made it to the end, and I, love you. Wish you great safety and, confidence in these confusing times. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering, causes of suffering. May they be happy. May they be free. May there also always be fresh air, pure water, and minds uncontrolled by government or more devious powers. And, may we be free, may there always be wild places for wildlife to live in, wilderness, and may there be a piece of that wilderness in your own heart. Be wild at heart.